My parents forgot my son's birthday for 3 years straight. At my mom's 70th, she called my sister's husband the son I always wanted. My grandfather said one sentence that ended her. I'm Nick, 41, and I spent years biting my tongue to keep the peace. My sister Claire was the golden child. Every photo in my parents' house was of Claire. When she married Brandon, Mr. Corporate Lawyer, my parents practically threw a parade. My son Max is 11, smart, kind, obsessed with drawing. Not flashy, but mine. My parents forgot his birthday 3 years in a row. First year, I brushed it off. Second year, I reminded them. Nothing. Third year, they called after to brag about Claire's kids. I was done. Mom's 70th birthday. Claire planned a huge party. Max and I sat in back next to the coat rack. Slideshow had 14 photos of Claire's family, 0 of Max. During toasts, Claire gushed about Mom. Then my mom stood up, looked at Brandon and said, "You are the son I always wanted." I froze. There was awkward laughter. My mom didn't crack a smile. She meant it. Nobody even glanced at me. Then my 3-year-old grandfather stood up, eyes locked on my mom. "That's enough, Elaine. You already have a son, but you've spent 40 years pretending you don't. That boy," he pointed at Max, "is your grandson. If you can't remember his birthday, you don't deserve to be called his grandmother." He sat down. Silence. Weeks later, Claire called. "Mom's revising the will. She doesn't want to include Max." I laughed. "Tell her she can leave everything to you." Then Max came home with a photo on his tablet. Everly's birthday party. Petting zoo, magician, his classmates. Max wasn't invited. The look on his face broke me. I called Grandpa. "I'm leaving the lake house to you and Max. Claire thinks she's getting it. Your mother assumes Brandon will get it, but I changed the trust. You earned it." Months later, Mom hosted a legacy dinner at that same lake house. Everyone was there. The extended family, Claire and Brandon dressed like royalty. My mother stationed near the fireplace like a queen. When the servers brought out the first course, my mother stood to make her speech. She talked about family, tradition, legacy. Then she lifted her glass toward Claire and Brandon. "These two have been such a source of pride. One day when this home is passed on, I know it will be in the best possible hands." That's when Grandpa cleared his throat. "Actually," he said calmly, "that's not true." Every head swiveled. "The home isn't going to Claire, or Brandon, or their children." Silence. "I changed the trust. I've chosen Nick and Max as the inheritors." The words hit like a dropped chandelier. Claire's fork clattered. My mother's glass tightened in her hand. Brandon tried to recover. "This house has always been intended for Claire. We've made plans. We've discussed renovations." Grandpa shrugged. "You should have checked the paperwork." My mother stood so fast her chair scraped. "Dad, this is absurd. Nick doesn't even come here anymore." "That's because you pushed him out," Grandpa snapped, "and I'm done watching it happen." Claire jumped in. "We tried to include Max in things. He was always quiet." "He was quiet," I said, "because every time he talked, you talked louder." Brandon scoffed. "This is childish. Nick, you're really taking the house?" I turned to him. "What has my mother ever done for us?" He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. My mother tried again. "Nick, please be reasonable. This is a family home. Claire's kids need the space." I laughed. "Not once have you ever asked what Max needs." She stared at me. "You wouldn't dare keep the house. You don't have the money to maintain it." Grandpa leaned back. "I covered 10 years of property taxes in a fund. Plenty of time for Nick to decide if he wants to keep it or sell it." Claire gasped. "Sell it? Do with it what you want," Grandpa said to me softly, and that was that. The dinner unraveled. My mother stormed out. Claire whispered angrily to Brandon. Max and I slipped outside. The moon pushed silver light across the lake. "Does this mean we have a house?" Max asked. "Yeah, bud, it does." Grandpa shuffled out with cake. "You didn't take anything from them," he said. "You just finally accepted what was yours." Inside, chaos continued. But out here, with my son laughing as a stone skipped across the lake, I felt something deep and steady. My mother and sister spent their lives building a perfect image. I just built a life worth living.